may not be having car shows right now, but that did not stop Infiniti from putting on a pretty big display when they delivered the new QX55 to me. All that was missing was the dancers and the super funky reveal music. Okay, so apologies, but nobody's going to be dancing during this review. Too bad. All right, let's talk about this newbie. There is quite a bit of this that will feel familiar, but that doesn't include the looks. Take it all in, and you can use your eyes to review it. This is Infiniti's jump back into the fastback SUV segment they're staking claim on inventing with the amazing FX. So in my opinion, I actually think this is kind of a hot little number, especially in Infiniti's version of this candy apple red. It's pretty good. It's got the sloping roofline and kind of that sporty fastback look that a lot of luxury SUVs are using these days. And with a competitive set like the Mercedes-Benz GLC Coupe, a Land Rover Evoque, and Audi Q5 Sportback, you'd better be looking pretty dope. Wow, that's a tough group of adversaries. Like I said, some of the QX55 is familiar territory. That includes the platform it rides on. This is the same architecture that the QX50 sits on. That's a front-wheel drive chassis that accommodates all-wheel drive. And that's a good thing too. One of my beefs with the QX50, the front-wheel drive setup, was that it kind of slid around a little bit. But when you're putting power down at all four wheels, you really don't experience that, especially when you are in less than perfect weather conditions. Overall, the ride feels comfortable as you'd expect, nay, hope in a luxury people mover. Standard mode feels like a great road trip setting. So when you're in eco mode, throttle mapping gets super stingy, which is a good thing because you're trying to be more efficient. If I put this into sport, it actually gets a lot more zippy. It's nice, I can really feel a difference. And I have to tell you, with some other manufacturers, I really don't see much of a difference between drive modes, so they're a little subtle. I appreciate it here. So just in standard mode, the steering feels a little bit light, little dead on center, but you can go into the settings and customize, and I've actually put it on Dynamic Plus, which to me firms it up a little bit, just like I like it, makes you feel a little bit more control and less of that electronic assisted feeling. The brakes get the job done very well, which is kind of what you want, right? And around turns, well, that extra grip with the all-wheel drive actually puts down power with confidence. And the turning radius is awesome. This thing feels like it's just spinning around on its center axis. The QX55 is a solid and enjoyable ride. The drivetrain in the QX55 is also familiar. It gets a CVT, which you know my general feelings about, but the one Infiniti and Nissan employ is genuinely improving with each new iteration. The 4-cylinder variable compression turbo engine is one we've seen and liked. It makes good power and, except for a little lag, doesn't disappoint when you're looking for a boost to get up and go. No, the QX55 is not going to get you the power that, say, a Porsche Macan is, but you are making up for it on the sticker price and at the gas pump. So the one place where I do see a challenge for the QX55 against the Mercedes and the BMWs of the world is really with that drivetrain. With the CVT and the VCT, it really does lack performance as well as a little bit of polish and elegance. The other thing is inside this cabin, even with all of the added sound dampening equipment, it can be quite loud. Standard mode, you're okay, but you flip into sport and you can really hear it working. But you are paying a lot less than those other guys. So for the styling, that could be a sacrifice you're willing to make. But for a truer, sporty driving experience, another transmission option from Infiniti would have been nice. One area where the Q55 does kick butt is safety and technology. Which is great because visibility can be a little bit of a challenge with that sloping roofline and a pretty thick C-pillar. ProPilot Assist is able to use the adaptive cruise control and electric power steering to accelerate, brake, and even steer the QX55 sometimes. The driver must keep their hands on the wheel, but in the grind of stop-and-go traffic, ProPilot is like having a virtual chauffeur. Pretty darn sweet, Jeeves. Can I call you that? ProPilot Assist comes on the second highest trim, called the Essential. On that trim level, you also get LED headlights, navigation, leather seats with heating and ventilation, and some premium sound equipment from Bose. The highest, sensory trim, comes in around $57,050 and gets you open-pore wood trim, tri-zone climate control, and a motion-activated liftgate. The interior won't surprise because this is also familiar, but it's full of good things. So the base Luxe trim actually gets you a lot more standard features than a competitor that might charge you extra. Let's start with the 8 and 7-inch dual screen setup that actually gives you wireless Apple CarPlay too. Wah! Look, Ma, no wires. Wired Android Auto is also standard, but no wireless charging, so there will be some cords. Other standard equipment includes power moonroof, heated front seats, active noise cancellation, and a bunch of active safety features including forward emergency braking, rear automatic braking, lane departure warning, and rear cross traffic alerts. So one consideration when buying an SUV that has a sloped roofline is usually interior space. Now in the driver's seat, I actually feel quite comfortable in my seating position. There's plenty of headroom here, even for someone else who's a little bit taller. But let's go into the back and just check and see what we have going on here. A little bit of a stadium seating situation, so you're a little bit higher up. Legroom is fine, again, behind me. The one thing I do like, though, is the recline. Helps a little bit with headroom, but you know what? If you are super tall, back here might be a little bit of a challenge. Though Mike Danger is a tall drink of water, and he's not quite so comfortable. Maybe save the front seat for him. Cargo space seems pretty voluminous. Hey, if Micah got one-time use of that word, then I do too. Infiniti claims it's class-leading. Infiniti is already taking orders for the QX55 that's expected to come sometime in early spring of 2022. They even send out a gift of your choice when you order, so you get special treatment too when you get yours. Small in stature, yes, but in a lot of ways, the QX55 swings big. If you're in the market for a more luxurious SUV, then Infiniti's just made your decision a little bit harder. No dancing girls or funky music necessary.